Hello everyone, welcome to the channel of Virtual Learning Hub. I am Devli Bhattacharya and today we will understand about what is compensation cess, which is under GST. Now in the screen you can look, there is a describe sentences for compensation cess. You can make a screenshot and let's understand this. Now Goods and Services Tax GST launched in India 1st July and 2017. Which is a comprehensive indirect tax for the entire country. GST is charged at the time of supply and depends on the destination of consumption. For instance, if a good is manufactured in state A but consumed in state B, then the revenue generated through GST collection is credited to the state of consumption, as which is state B, and not to the state of production, which is state A. Due to consumption-based nature of GST, manufacturing states like Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu feared to a revenue loss. Thus, GST compensation cess or GST cess was introduced by the government to compensate for the possible revenue losses suffered by the manufacturing state. Let's understand this. For the tail is state A and state B. Produced goods, consumed goods. Now, in GST we know that the collection will be made by state B, so they will get a revenue as GST. But the state which produced goods, they will not collect GST. So, after GST has implied, state A claim that they are suffering from such losses. So, for that loss, the center secured that they will bear that loss, which is called compensation cess. Not only that, center will assume that the revenue growth is 14% increase in each year for the time limitation of 5 years. Suppose in 2019 the revenue is 100, then in 2020 the revenue will be 114. So they assume that the growth is 14%. So then there is no claim for the state A, which is called compensation cess. Now we will understand each of the point. Now the compensation cess, the act was amendment under 101 2016 GST rule. And the second point is will be compensated to states for period of 5 years from the date of GST came into force. The council took 2015 and 2016 as base year. Compensation amount will be calculated from the base year 2015 and 2016 with assumption of 14% annual growth. As I mentioned, now please listen carefully. If 2015 and 16 is the best year, then what will be the next 5 year? So 2015-16 is the previous year. So what will be the financial year? It will 2016 and 2070, which is financial year. So next 5 years 2017 and 2018, 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020. And the last is 2020 to 2021. So what will be the assumed profit for 2020 and 2021? There is a method of calculation which is called compound interest calculation. So how we'll calculate 2015 and 16, which is a base year, as the revenue collection is 100. Now what will be the revenue of 2020 and 2021? So the method of compound interest, which is P is the principal value, which is 100, 1 plus R is the rate of interest, which is 14%, by 100. N represent as number of year, which is 5. So if you will calculate, you will get the revenue of 2020 and 2021. What will be the revenue of 2019 and 2020? The number of year will be changed. Then N will be 4. What will be the revenue of 2018 and 2019? Then N will be 3. This is the process of calculation. I think this is clear. Now, alcohol for human consumption, certain petroleum products will not be accounted as a part of the base year revenue. So, such of products like petroleum, liquor, goods like these, they are not generated as the base year of 2015-2016. What is the reason behind that? The reason is the rate of GST for those particular products is much flexible. Now, when the lockdown was open for a period, you can notice that how much the government take GST rate. As on liquor, it was 70%. So 70% was under GST rate. Now this 70% is not employed by the center, which is conducted by the state. So no contribution behind this rate for the center. There is some goods. Now the compensation cess will be for intrastate goods, interstate goods and services, also export of goods and services. You know the meaning of interstate? If there is a remaining fund of compensation cess, then the 50% will be sent to center and remaining 50% for those state as Karnataka, Maharashtra, they have produced goods. So those kind of state. In which ratio? In fifth year ratio, as 2020 to 2021 ratio. PV ratio of 2020 and 2021. Some goods they are under compensation cess is tobacco, petroleum, coal, lignite, etc. You will be surprised that in tobacco the GST rate is more than 50%. And if the compensation cess is 30%, then you can see the how the profit is minimized. As the cost suppose the market price of tobacco is 10 rupees. If the GST charged 50%, remaining balance is 5, and the compensation cess on 10, which is 30% as 3. You can see the profit plus cost for the retailer. The government earn much profit in those kind of goods. Now here there is another point. The compensation cess is not charged on 5. It is charged on that rupees 10, which is the value of market. This is the another rule of compensation cess. As suppose the value of goods is rupees 100. The GST is 30% and compensation cess is 20%. So we are charging GST as IGST, as CGST and SGST. Is 15%, 15%. So 130. Now we are charging compensation cess. Compensation cess will be not charged on 130. It will be charged on 100. So 100 into 20%, which is 20. So 150. So I think the topic compensation cess is clear for now. There is some basic rule and act for compensation cess. I think you all understand. Thank you.